Hello, savvy listeners. I am excited you are taking the time to invest in yourself today. Savvy, the business podcast, will show you how your daily habits can create your own platform. Experts will share solutions and efficient tips to create a roadmap just for you. One thing that can make this happen: change your habits, change your success. Welcome to Savvy, the business podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Savvy Business Podcast. We are on Dr. Miles today, and we're going to talk a little bit about not what he does and how the business community can benefit from some of his tips and techniques, but we're also getting into his book. He has authored a book which has a very interesting title to it, but we'll get into it a little later. So we'll just go ahead and get started, and I'm going to read you a little bit of his bio before we move forward. Dr. D. Anthony Miles is a serial entrepreneur, award-winning researcher, award-winning professor, statistician, legal expert witness, business expert, and best-selling author. Oh, wow. What a mouthful. Dr. Miles is a nationally known startup and marketing expert. He is also a forensic marketing expert. He has appeared in the national media for his expertise. He is CEO and founder of Miles Development Industries Corporation and consulting practice and venture capital acquisition firm. He is also a host and executive producer of Game on Business talk show. He was a visiting professor. He has presented his research at conferences around the country. Most notable, he has presented at Stanford University. He was invited to Harvard University by the Harvard Business School. Wow. Dr. Miles, welcome.
How you doing this morning, young lady?
I am great. How about you?
I'm good. I'm blessed. Thank you so much for having me on your show today.
Absolutely. That's a mouthful, but wow. Tell us a little bit on how you got started with so much and been recognized globally.
I have to be real honest with you. I didn't plan things that way. Sometimes things just happen because of serendipity and because of what I do. And a lot of things that have been blessed that have happened to me is because I was just in the right place at the right time.
I understand.
I never planned to be invited to Harvard. I never planned to go to Stanford University. Those are some things that happened to me, based on just being at the right place at the right time, and also mentors that I've had, people that looked out for me and opened doors for me. And I just have to say, in all grace to God, God has a lot to do with it. And a lot of the things and accolades I achieved, I have to be honest with you, when I hear people read my bio, I don't think that's me. I still have to pinch myself because I don't think I did all of that. And I kind of lost track almost of all the things I've done. And that's not being arrogant. It's just that I'm always looking for the next endeavor. I'm always looking for the next opportunity. And sometimes when I'm looking for the next opportunity, I forget some of the things I've done before. So that would be the most honest answer to your question.
Wow. And I completely understand because, sometimes we do things just nonchalantly and going on with day-to-day life and say, okay, well, let me go help out here or let me go do these things. And you get recognized by people. And it's one of them things, you never know who's going to be in the room. And it's just, opportunities fall in your lap. And it's just a matter of, when they say, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So when those opportunities drop, you're ready to move forward. And I think, based on what you said and a little bit of my experience as well, I understand. That's just one of the things that happen, and it's your time. We'll just say that.
You never know who's watching you. You never know who your name may come across on somebody's radar. And I always say you should Google yourself. Always know what's said about you on the internet. And if it's something that's not accurate, make sure you take, means to straighten that out, because there's so many bad things, well, good things and bad things on the internet, but you have to guard your brand like guarding your life. That's your life that you're talking about. And what's said about you, in terms of your digital reputation, you have to be very, very cognizant of that. Make sure everything that you say about you on the internet is what you want said about you, not what somebody else says about you.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. That's actually a great tip. So whoever's watching this, I hope you wrote that down and made a mental note or documented it somewhere to Google yourself. Because, we have to also be careful with social media. And I say this a lot. A lot of people think, oh, well, it's just my personal page. Oh, well, I don't do business over here. It does not matter. When you are searchable, they're going to go to your personal page to see what you're doing. They're going to find your business page, see what you're doing. It's all tied to you. So, thank you for saying that, because you never know who's watching you, because everybody that watches you don't always comment.
I totally agree with that. And I'll piggyback even some more on that. You got to manage your offline reputation and your digital reputation, which is your online reputation. And I made mistakes, and I had to learn from them. You have so many things on social media. People can use tools against you. So you got to be very, very aware of what's said about you, because people are lazier now. You probably agree with me on this. Are lazy. They figure they just go type in something on Google and look you up, and that's the whole truth and nothing but the truth about you. So you have to give them some context to that. If they're going to say you did all of that stuff, make sure you did all of that stuff. Don't exaggerate and embellish, because that's only going to hurt you. But, just be like Joe Friday, just the facts.
You're right. You are absolutely right. And that takes me into asking you about forensic marketing expert. Explain that a little bit.
Sure. I want to give you kudos. This is the first interview post my book coming out.
Oh, I feel honored. Wow.
I'm definitely going to blow this up on my social media. My book came out in October of last year, and it's been a struggle to get on platforms because of, the election and the COVID news.
Yes. Yeah. Well, let's back up a little bit before we move forward. Before we move forward with that, since that ties into your book, let's be sure we put out that title: How to Get Away with Murder in Marketing, Forensic Marketing. And so many of us is familiar with the TV show of How to Get Away with Murder. What made you tie the two together?
Great question, Amber. Let me tell you, I'm sorry, Melissa. I have a niece that has the same name as yours. I keep calling you thinking Amber, but Melissa, let me tell you what happened. I was actually in the course of have a good title. The original title of the book was going to be called Crimes of Marketing. That's kind of bland. So then when the show came out, when I actually started doing my book, I was toward doing my book, I said, why don't I take a piggyback on the show and say How to Get Away with Murder in Marketing. And it just stuck, and everybody liked the title. And the title is so unique, so that's how I came up with the title. But I actually was already working on a book around the time the show came out. And I was fascinated by the show. I just was. Viola Davis is an excellent actress. So I was just fascinated by the show and its content. So that was the inspiration for the title of the book.
Okay, so real quick before we move forward, there's some tapping that's happening on your end. I don't know if there's a cord hitting the mic or something.
I'm not sure what that is.
Okay. Okay.
You still hear it? You still hear it?
Not like right now. Maybe it's a cord or something that's like hitting or bumping. Maybe that's what's happening. But it's gone now. Whatever it is, it's stopped. Okay.
Let me try something here.
All right.
How's that?
That's fine.
Okay, how's that?
That's fine.
Okay.
No. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So with you tying the title, How to Get Away with Murder in Marketing, let's clarify something before we move forward. How to Get Away with Murder with Marketing can be kind of open, and we want to clarify that doesn't mean do no tricky stuff or try to slide stuff, under the gun and get away with things. It's still about honesty and transparency when you're working with clients in marketing. So let's, clarify that as we go into the forensic of being a marketing expert as well.
Sure. I just played with the words. It's a play on words. It's kind of a double entendre. How you First, it's like you can't murder somebody and get away with it, and then get away with it in marketing. So it's somewhat of a double entendre, and that was done by design because I want to make the title unique. So that's the reason for it. And then if you notice at the end, it says forensic marketing. So it's just a double play on words.
Okay, so now let's get into forensic and marketing. We know, with forensic, all of these shows that's out, so many people watching the CSI and, all these other shows that's out. And we get so in tune in them shows that we almost think, okay, we're on the force. So, we can solve our own crime. We can solve our own, things that's happening. So with forensics, it's digging in, it's research, it's looking at everything that you have available to you and beyond to move forward. Would you say that's accurate?
That's pretty accurate, Melissa. That's very accurate. Forensics is really sexy right now with the investigative shows that are out, and that's a good thing because a lot of people still don't know about the field. And I like to think when you read my book, I give you some basis of where the term forensics comes from and how it's emerged in certain areas. Forensics has been prominent in the medical field and criminology, but it hasn't been as prominent as, say, the business field. Like you have forensic economics, you have forensic accounting, and then forensic marketing is the newer one, which is the least published. You find that hard to believe. And when I originally wrote my book, I tried to find books on forensic marketing, and there were virtually no books on the marketplace. And I said, that's got to be crazy. How do you not have forensic marketing? There have been journal articles on academic journal articles, but there has not been a serious book that shows you the practice and how to do forensic marketing. So that was the main impetus for me writing the book. And when I wrote the book, it was a couple of other books that were out, but the books they came out in the 80s and 90s. And the internet has changed so much now that they're kind of obsolete, I would say outdated, but they were a good foundation for me to write my book. So when I wrote my book, I wanted to give people that in the area of marketing a specific strategy and specific frameworks of how to do forensic marketing. And I think I've been successful at that.
Okay, and that is something unique. And now that you brought that up, I haven't looked a lot for that, but when you think about it, when you're searching marketing and things like that, nothing like that has ever come up before. And for you to, do that research and hit on something, this could be, some bigger teaching in how to investigate marketing and investigate the marketing of clients to help them, with their marketing. What would you recommend to someone that's out there looking for a marketing expert, and on the other side, if someone contact you to do marketing for them?
Well, normally when you contact an expert, it's because you have a problem that your business or is something that you're not doing. Originally wrote the book was, well, we have people that have marketing problems. How do they determine if a person has a problem, and how do they measure it? How do they investigate it? And that was, getting back to what I was saying earlier, there were no books that showed you how to do that. So when I did my book, I said, okay, let me start something here, and let me see if I can find a platform that can build people that are in the marketing arena and build up their skills and build up their forensic investigation area in terms of marketing. So a lot of times when you find an expert, you're saying, okay, why are my sales down? Why are we no longer dominant in the marketplace? Why the customers no longer want our product? So you want to bring in a marketing expert, and also you like to probably bring in a forensic marketing expert to make sure that everything looks good and look at the marketing evidence that's available to you in terms of internal and external. So to answer your question, when you do that, when you even get a new client, you have to ask. You interview the client, and you say, okay, what is it that what is the problem, and what is it? How can I help you with the problem, and what would you like to see different? Everything is a conversation. Help a client if you don't know what the problem is, and then if he tells you what the problem is, you can't just take what they tell you what the problem is. You have to do your investigation. Right. He may not. It may be he's lost market share because he refuses to spend money on marketing. Well, that's a pretty easy fix, but it's usually not that simple. It's usually something a little bit more complex, like his staff may be incompetent. He may have people on his marketing staff that don't have a background in marketing. And I want to also say this, Melissa, fields of study in business, marketing is the one that's the least taken serious, which I find extremely disconcerting. People that think they can do marketing because they can build a good website think they can do marketing. People that draw good pictures or good colors think they can do marketing. Marketing is a very, very complex endeavor. I would liken marketing to the field of law. You have different types of law. You don't just say law. You have, let me give an example. You have family law. You have real estate law. Yeah. You have corporate law. You have all different facets of law. You have estate planning. So you can't take somebody who just thinks they know law and then throw them and say, okay, I want you to do a corporate law. I want you to do estate planning. Because all of those practices or those particular area specializations in law require different expertise, and everyone doesn't have that. So I will say marketing is just like the practice of law. Yeah, marketing is advertising. Marketing is many things, but marketing is one thing. So that's the approach that you have to take when you deal with marketing problems. What am I looking at? I'm not just looking at ads. I'm looking at what's their client base? What's the return on investment? Are they in the right market? Is their market declining? That takes people with a trained marketing mind to ask those type of questions. So that's what I would say to anybody that's getting approached by someone for consulting services.
I almost jumped up out this chair a little while ago now. Because, you hit so many good points. Because, I don't know if you know, but in addition to the podcast, I do some of the marketing as well. But like you said, it's different levels. So, I created the marketing studio, and we are the first globally woman-owned, in the world, because we focus on business development and branding. We don't go straight to PR and websites. You got to understand what you're doing before you get to the website and the pretty logos and all of that other stuff. So,
absolutely.
I'm starting with them, down here, let's get that foundation together. And then, we take those steps, slowly take those steps to move up to some other things. And what you just said on people that say, oh, I could build my own website. I could put together a website myself too, but I don't put myself out there as a website designer. Exactly. I actually outsource my own website. Yeah, I can, do something just to get something up there, but I don't want to do something just to get it up there. I need to do it to where it's really catching everything that I wanted to catch. And not only that, outsourcing it gives me time to work on some other things while the website designer can do it a lot better and quicker than I can.
I think you just being a savvy businesswoman, because I don't like learning on the job. I'd rather hire a professional. And to me, if I do it, it's not going to be as good as someone else that does it.
Exactly.
And I want to piggyback on what you said earlier. People do not take the craft of marketing serious to me, because marketing is like a serious field of study. And I would say marketing is left side and right side. The right side is the left side is analytics, market research, statistics, empirical work, and all those type of things. The right side is color, text, content. Some of them go together. One is not more important than the other, but you can't say you know marketing if you don't know one side and not the other side. You may be strong on one side or may be strong on both, but The tragedy with marketing is people that don't know marketing, who think they know PR, who try to do marketing and they fall on their face.
Oh my God! You like you just. I mean, you hitting them. Oh my God! Yeah, actually, that's another book, The Tragedy of Marketing. There you go. There's your next book.
Thank you. We have to co-author together. Marketing is the most, I would
Oh
say,
my God!
misunderstood, underappreciated part of the business. Because you know PR does not mean you know marketing. Because you know advertising does not mean you know marketing.
It's
And
not
we have
the
to stop
same.
the madness.
It's
It is
not.
not the same thing.
People
And
don't
I'll
think
even say that.
right.
Marketing, it's like just marketing also is just because you know marketing doesn't mean you know sales. That's a totally, sales is like the, I would say the manifestation of your marketing.
You
But
need to
those are,
write these notes down right now because you saying some chapters. Hold on.
I
You
have
some chapters right there. Hold on.
I have a colleague of mine, and we were talking about this in Atlanta, and she
Yeah.
said, I just get so tired of people that got a degree in PR and communications, and they think they know marketing. They don't.
This conversation went so much better than what I thought it was going to be. I could say it wasn't gonna be good, but
I don't want to lie to you. I'm not saying the skills are transferable. It is not the same.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Because it's so many, and I'm looking at it now. I mean, go back to last year when COVID first hit and everybody was shutting down and all of this. What did everybody do? They went straight to Facebook Live and all these things. Oh, I got to get my business. I got to do this. Okay, but what are you talking about? Did you have a plan when you went to this live platform? Why did you do it? Because everybody else did it. I have people ask me, well, Melissa, why aren't you getting? I'm like, what for? Everybody and their mom is on it. It's saturated. And there's so many people out there. Why should I put myself out there and fight for just to be seen right now? I'm here thinking about, okay, I need longevity. I don't need the right name. I need some longevity with this.
See, that's the entrepreneur in you coming out. You don't see, one thing that determines or separates entrepreneurs from everybody else is they don't wait for things to happen. They make for things happen. Okay? See, so you're saying, oh, well, everybody's doing this, so I should jump into it. A true entrepreneur says, well, no, I'm going to wait to see how this pans out, and I've already got plan B ready in case this doesn't work. And the thing about being an entrepreneur, and that's what I admire about you, Melissa, is that we all have a certain mindset. We don't follow the crowd. You would never be good at somebody's job, just like me. I don't function good at somebody's job. I'm a free thinker. I don't follow the crowd. I don't do what everybody else does. I say what I think, what I think is right. And people like that should always have their own business. You cannot get anywhere in this world being what everybody else do what everybody else does and being what everybody else is. You can only be yourself. And a lot of times, I think American society sometimes forces us to be team players and compliance. I don't have a problem being a team player. What I have a problem with is you sacrificing your brilliance just to be part of a team. That's what I have a problem with.
Look, there go another book title. Another book title.
This is like therapy, huh?
Brilliance to be on a man. Look, are you writing this down? That's all I need to know. Are you writing this down? But I got to record. Oh my God. You are absolutely right. And everybody's so busy about being seen and being on social media and, I got to have a pretty website or, all these different things. And now, there's a lot of things at home people are trying to create. But you could tell the difference on that mindset because everybody, Valentine's Day coming up, and what we always have, the baskets and wine and chocolates and all of the common things. Now, if you want to build you a business, longevity, not a seasoned business, what are you going to do without building a basket and the chocolates and, all the things that everybody normally do? What can you do differently to where, okay, not Valentine's Day over with, you won't be looking like, okay, now what? So
Yes.
what can you do in the long run? And when you're coming up with these business ideas, so many people, they get into, I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate about this. And I'm like, oh, I hate it. When they say that. And I get that you have to be excited about what you're doing, but your passion could simply be a hobby. And I use myself as an example. I love shoes. I love handbags, but I don't want to sell no shoes. I don't want to sell no
Exactly.
handbags. I don't want to do it. But I'm passionate about it. I love them, but I don't want to sell them. So it's understanding that passion that you have. What is it really? Is it something you just truly enjoy? Is it something you can build on? Or is it really a business idea? So the forensics of it, you have to go and do the research, dig into it, do the work, not to say, oh, I enjoy doing this, I'm going to start a business. That's not what you do. Come on, forensics. Help me.
I totally agree. And a lot of people get into entrepreneurship or starting on business for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Are you in this to make money? That's the first thing. Do you have a business that people need? Do you have a service that people need? If you can't answer that question, like I always, I used to teach an MBA program. I used to teach a course in entrepreneurship. That's what I majored in. And I would always ask people, okay, if everything went bad, would people need your business? And they would ask me, well, what do you mean by that? I mean, we have COVID, we have all these different calamities going around the country, but somebody needs your business. And if you can't answer that question, you have a hobby, you don't have a business. If your business is not helping a customer do three things: make money, save time, or save any type of resource, you make it convenient, you don't have a business. You have basically have a glorified hobby. And that's the way you have to look at it. And everybody's not meant to be an entrepreneur. Some people need a steady paycheck. That's nothing wrong with that, because everybody's not meant to be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur always, every day, has their intent of looking for opportunities to make more money. How can I be a millionaire next year? I'm not going to get there doing this, so I'm going to shift and do something else.
Yeah.
There's a government contract out. They need people to do statistics work. They're going to pay $1.5 million for 2 years. I should be doing that. See, entrepreneurs never sit still. Entrepreneurs always look for new opportunities to make money and to build their business. Obviously, making money is a part of it. You shouldn't be in it if you're not trying to make money. Nobody's in the business to try to help everybody. That should be a facet of your business, but you have to have some way to sustain yourself economically. What's the economic benefit for you?
Right. No, you are absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. I mean, it's so many different things that is out, and it's so many different resources that's available for people. But you have to understand, whatever your industry is, that's the direction you need to go do your research. And when you see someone that's doing marketing, say they're doing marketing for someone that is a graphic designer, but you are selling some type of, let's say, clothing. So yes, they are marketing for this graphic designer, but are they strong in that? You have to really look at that. Some companies, they're able to shift and say, okay, yeah, you're selling clothes, let's focus on this. You need to do these things. And then as a graphic designer, you need to be in these areas. But someone that's scripted, and they give every single person, regardless of their industry, the exact same script, and it's not making sense to what you're doing, let that be a red flag to you, and not just say, take their word and, oh, trust me, it'll work. Oh, trust me, I did this with, this person. They have to talk your language in your industry and your business, almost as if it's their business. Because if they're not talking your language, it's not going to make sense. But on the other hand, if they are talking your language and things aren't moving as fast as you want them to move, you're not listening to the suggestions or recommendations, then you have to be prepared for what will happen if you're not taking that advice and listening to the suggestions. Even if they say, okay, well, let's not do this right now. Let's put it on a shelf and wait till later, but let's focus in on this task right here. Because they're what I call your third eye. They're your outside eye to look at things that you may not be seeing because you're so invested into what you're doing. And not to say they're not invested in it, but they have the opportunity to look outside of what you're seeing. So I think it's a great opportunity to listen and look at some of the things that they are revealing to you and do your own research. Look at some of the things and see if it makes sense before you make a decision. But if you have a expert or someone in that area, consider them the expert, you know? So, I mean, what would you say on something like that, where we want to move. And it's not, I'm not even saying if it's financial or not, but we just want to move. And one, we may not want to really do the work to get there because we see stars, we see, the money, I want to get here, and not want to slow down and say, okay, let's look at some things. I might even have to start over on some of those things. What do you think about, those type of people that want to just run?
I really, Melissa, and I'll even take this a step further. You have some people that don't want to listen, and I've had clients like that. And what do you do with a guy like that? Do you let him fall on his face? Do you just be honest with him? Some people don't want to know the truth. There are people that they look at everything through rose-colored glasses. I think you should give everything balance. Everything isn't all bad, everything isn't all good. Mm-hmm. But when you deal with people of that sort, you'd be surprised what little they know. They may know how the business runs, but you start asking questions about who are your main competitors? Who? I don't have no competitors. How can you say that? All business has competitors. Unless you're doing something that's really unique that hasn't been done before. I can't think of a business that doesn't have a competitor. Then you start digging deep. You ask them, how much industry experience have you done? Mm-hmm. Well, I haven't done any industry experience. Mm-hmm. So now you got a guy that doesn't know his competitor is, so how can a guy like that be successful or be successful in the long run? Eventually, he's going to hit his peak, and then his sales are going to decline because he doesn't know who his competitors are. He doesn't know his industry. He doesn't know his industry. He doesn't know the legislation or any new technological breakthroughs that happen in his industry. And these people are always the last to call a consultant. That's where you got to come in and try to kiss a frog and make a frog into a prince, and he may get there too late. How do you deal with that? Carefully.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Is being very careful with those decisions and not be so excited that you miss things or you get frustrated or you don't want to listen to someone because you're ready to, I've been waiting years for this. Now I'm here and I'm ready to go. Just slow down. Because if it's meant to be, it's going to happen. And then it might not be your season right now. So we got to remember that. It might not be your season.
Business is so complex now, Melissa. You put up a lemonade stand is not as simple as it was in the 50s and the 40s or whatever. Mm-hmm. Business is a lot. Competition is not only local, it's global. Hell, you got people on the internet selling lemonade, pre-made lemonade, ready to ship out. How are you going to compete against that?
Yeah.
So now your competitors are 3-tier: local, federal, local, regional, statewide, and nationwide. Then you got international, global. So you have to be aware of what's around you, and the people that are usually the last to see what's around them are the people that end up failing. I didn't see this competitor enter the marketplace. You know why you didn't see them? Because you didn't want to see them. You wouldn't look. You didn't look. You didn't ask. You'd say, well, what's going on in my industry? Who's coming in? And a lot of times those questions you're going to have to answer yourself. There's not in a book where you can get it. You have to look. Are you aware of everything that's going on in your industry? Are you aware of the breakthroughs in your industry?
Yeah.
That's why government legislation is so important, because what if they pass a law where you have to do something to change your business about how you hire people to do that type of work, that's going to change how you do business. So you got to be, you can't, I know it's really hard. I don't want to make it sound easy. Working inside of the business and looking at the business from a holistic perspective can be problematic. You have to choose sometimes. Maybe you may need to hire a guy that does operations for you, stand back and look at the business from a holistic perspective, or hire somebody, a consultant, to look at the business from a holistic perspective and give you insight that you're not aware of. That's the tragedy of business. When you work in a business, you're not paying attention to what's around the business. You only paying attention to, and that can be a tragedy.
I mean, you are so right. I mean, I'm not going. I was going to ask the question, why should someone buy your book? But strike that. We're not going to even ask that question, because you've said so much of why. What would you say to the person that have not purchased your book?
Well, I don't want to plug my previous book. I had a previous book called Risk Factors and Business Models. And a book talked about entrepreneurial risk and talked about what you should look out for when you're starting a business. Like, one of the things was called environmental risk. Where your business is located. What if you start a business that's in an area or a state that's prone to hurricanes and tornadoes and those extreme weather? You may not want to start a business in that area. You may want to start a business in the adjoining state. So you should get both of them, but you want to get this one first.
I mean, if you listen to this entire interview and you haven't gotten why or don't understand why you should get this book, the forensics of it all. That was a plug. The forensics of it all should say it itself. I mean, so many of you, just like you can really get into these TV shows with, all of these cases and the police, CSI, all of these different shows, and you're an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, I think that this is something that you will truly need to help you move forward. If you don't have the funds to hire a marketing firm, start with this book. It can probably give you insight to help you, do some things, how to outsource, when to outsource, how to research to outsource, all these different things, because keep in mind, you can't do it by yourself. You shouldn't want to do it by yourself because you're going to miss out on so much. So I'm going to encourage you to purchase this book, get in contact with this man right here. Get in contact with him, because I'm not going to count the many times that I almost jumped up out this chair and ran around this room with him talking. I know yesterday was Sunday.
I have to do a part 2 interview. You might have to do a therapy for entrepreneurs, what not to do.
It goes so much deeper, but I have not had an interview with someone when we talked about marketing as deep as this one. And I know it could go a lot deeper and we could go on and on and on, but I meant the time that it took you to really put this book together, the thought process behind it, and the words, piggybacking off of something that everyone's familiar with. Man, it's so much more that could be done with this, but I don't know what you have planned or what you're going to do in addition to this book to take it further, but I'm excited. I can't wait to see what you're going to do. let everyone know where they can purchase the book and how they can reach you.
Sure. My book, How to Get a Word Murder Marketing, Forensic Marketing, can be bought at Amazon. It can be bought on Barnes and Nobles in the stores. It can be you can order it from the publisher's website, Archway Publishers. And I don't have any copies, so you're gonna have to go through the retailers. But you can get it on eBay as well. I saw my book on eBay. You can get it from 4 different retailers. And definitely, this will be some good reading. I targeted the book towards business readers like yourself and myself. And again, I can't thank you enough for having me on the show. I think this is therapy for both of us.
Absolutely.
Just because you're in PR doesn't mean you know marketing. I'm gonna say that again. If you didn't get the first one, I'm gonna repeat it. Just because you know PR does not mean you know marketing. Okay, I don't want to be ugly, but I have to break that to you. PR and marketing are merging because of social media, but you have to know something about marketing because marketing is so complex.
Yeah.
And PR is PR. We need PR. We need both. We need PR and marketing, but they're not separate. They're merging because of social media and all different advances in marketing. But marketing people win every time. If you want to have a battle, marketing people win every time. Wow. I've been trained in marketing since undergrad. And I know somebody doesn't know what you know about marketing. It's like what I know about marketing. Somebody comes up to us saying, well, I've done PR. I'm like, oh, well, are you sure? My marketing colleagues and professionals, Melissa, have that same gripe. Yeah. People that know PR don't know marketing, and they need to quit saying they know marketing. It's a completely different skill set.
It is. It's completely different. And I know this gonna go a little out the box, but a lot of people market themselves as PR, but they say they're not a publicist. Right?
Yes, indeed.
But I'm a publicist, but I don't do PR.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to drop that nugget and see what you get from that. And hey, we might come up with another book of the forensics of PR.
Might have to call it the 10 myths of marketing.
I mean, it's so pick your words carefully, understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and what problem you want to directly solve. And, you know, like I said earlier, you know, with me having the marketing studio, I'm not going to do your PR. I'm not going to do your web design. I'm taking you before you even get to those levels. So we're going to work on that foundation and then work on your branding. So we focus on business development and branding, not PR.
Listen, I wanted to also say this too. I've seen people hire marketing experts and hire a PR person. Now, what does that tell you? They're not the same thing.
But a lot of people don't understand that because the people that's doing that understand it.
Exactly.
They understand.
PR. I get you interviews. I get your name out in the media. I get your name in the newspaper. I get people that radio interviews, TV interviews, magazine interviews. Marketing people don't do that. Marketing people, I want to market your brand to this particular industry. Want to see if we can put your foot in that industry.
Yeah.
Is it the functions are similar? Yes. But remember, PR is a function of marketing. It's a function of marketing.
Yeah. All right. Look. Okay. So he don't know it yet, but you know we're gonna pretend like he's not there. That will be a third book. They will be talking about all of these things, the myths of. We're gonna talk about PR versus publicists. Make sure there's an understanding, or publicist versus PR, and make sure there's an understanding. So he's not on this call no more, so don't worry about it. So he's going to write another book, and we're going to talk about that book as well. So I have I have truly enjoyed this conversation. You have no
I
idea.
enjoyed it. It was
Oh
a
my,
blast. I feel like we're kindred spirits. Somebody got to you this morning.
oh my God, this was so good. But you know what? We might have to come back and do a part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, you say, let me know, please. I deal with this all the time. This rivalry between the two fields of study. I
Yeah.
deal with this all the time. Marketing consultants tell me this all the time. I'm so tired of people thinking they can do marketing because they do PR. You can't. It's not the same thing. It's not.
Yeah. It's not.
I mean,
It's
you
not.
want us to. You want to say, well, yeah, you can. The
Yeah.
problem with that is marketing is the science. Marketing is everything. And marketing, I'm not saying marketing is better than anything. I'm just saying when you study the field of marketing, it is a serious field of study like law. There's different types of law. There's different types of marketing. Nonprofit marketing, political marketing, what we did research on. So if you keep that in mind, I think you'll stay grounded.
Yeah. Wow. Well, okay, guys, we're going to have to get out of here, but we're going to talk off camera about, maybe doing some quarterly updates or something. I don't know. I just have to keep you updated because in year 2021, especially, not to say that this is something new, but especially after 2020, everybody, not a select group or a certain person, everybody was grounded. You were forced to be grounded and to sit in your thoughts, spend time with family, do all these different things that we didn't have time to do because we're on the move, we're on the move, we're on the move. And we were able to reflect and to do a lot of things last year. Now it's 2021. It's time for you to shift, pivot. I talk about that a lot. We have to pivot. We have to shift in our thought process and some of the things that we were doing. Not saying you should completely stop, but there's a shift that needs to happen. So I will keep you up to date, let you know what's going to happen, and because I think it's crucial to continuously keep you updated and give you some of that information without you having to go spend thousands of dollars to get it done, or even hundreds of dollars. So it's just a small little piece of so much more that's out there, but I think it's crucial to bring you that type of information. So with that being said, thank you so much, Dr. Miles, for being on the show. And I'm just excited. I'm just excited.
Well, Miss Amber, thank you so much for having me on your show. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad to share my expertise and anything I can do to help you, make your show more interesting to the audience. And I would love to come back if you have another topic that's biting you in the leg that you need to get out.
That's biting me in the leg.
Right?
Oh my God, this is great. This is great. Wow.
I would love to. I would love to. Love to.
Absolutely. Okay, hold on. Let me pause it.